Well, hey there, long time no see. It is your boy JB, and I am here with the review for The Real Housewives of Potomac. This is the season finale, season 5, episode number 19, and the episode is titled Deck the Halls with Drama. This was an extended episode. It lasted another 15 minutes. So this might be an extended review. This is actually going to be a long, lengthy review. I can already tell you guys right now, it's going to be a lengthy review, so grab your snacks and let's get into it, shall we? All right, you guys. So like I said, this is going to be a lengthy review. So I'm going to start up with Monique Samuels. So we see Monique. Monique is going to see a therapist. You know, she says that due to stress of the altercation with Candice and with the lawsuits, she tells the therapist that, you know, her appetite has been up and down. Monique. Where do I want to start with you? Where do I want to start with you? I'm trying to think where I want to start. Bullshit. That's where we're going to start. Bullshit, Monique. Like, I have so many issues with Monique. I just have so many issues with Monique. So, we all know the whole story Monique has been saying all season. Watch the journey. Watch the journey. Got you. I've been watching the journey all season. You talk to your pastor. Then after that, Candice filed the charges. Then after Candice filed charges, you filed charges. I'm not saying anything was wrong with you filing charges. What I do have an issue with is in your statement, you did lie on your statement. And you then, after that, you went on social media. And after that, you know, people leaked it to the press, to the blogs, what happened, your story of what happened, you know. And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. Going off of what I read in the blogs, I was 100% on Monique's side at the time, you know, because in the blogs, it said that Candice had hit Monique in the mouth with the glass. So I'm like, okay, if Monique popped her, Candice got what she was asking for. But then we see the footage. It's nothing about what Monique said. So after that, you know, like I said, she's done interviews with bloggers. She's done, and then this song Drag Queens, which is about Candice. And I'm just like, watch the journey, but you've literally done a 360. You've done a 360. You haven't done a 180. You've done a complete 360. You come back to square one. So what did I really watch, Monique? Yes, you went to this therapist. But did you really lose your appetite? Like, did you really lose your appetite? I just really feel like Monique is putting 20 on 10. And I think Monique wanted, you know, I don't know. It's interesting to listen to her talk. So then Monique is also talking about the fact that with the ladies, she felt like the ladies wrote her off. I can't agree with that. I can't completely agree with that, Monique, because after the altercation happened, Karen called the ladies over to her house with you so that you could talk to them. Wendy was there, Giselle was there, which we all know how Giselle feels about you. Giselle, Robin, and Ashley were there. And the thing was, you didn't take any kind of accountability for what happened in the altercation with Candice. So I think that's one reason why the ladies wrote you off. And then number two, you did tell the ladies that if they had any events that, you know, don't feel any type of way about not inviting you. So they didn't invite you to any of their events. So you can't really say that the ladies wrote you off because you told them to. So I don't really 100% feel bad for you in that situation. So, you know, she also talks about how, you know, she feels so defensive. And so the therapist asked her, well, why do you feel so defensive? And she talks about her upbringing. So she says she went to a predominantly black school, a white school. And, you know, the kids made fun of her because, you know, she was the only black person in the school, which I can understand how that feels. You know, I can't understand how that feels. But I would imagine that doesn't feel good, being the only black kid in the school and not feeling like you fit in. But then she said that, you know, she and her sister then went to a predominantly black school, and the kids made fun of her and her sister because they talked quote unquote white. Now, I mean, me personally, I have gotten that pretty much my whole life. You know, people say, well, you talk very white. Well, and I always hit them with, even as a kid, I would, you know, when certain people say you talk like you talk like a white boy, because I enunciate and pronounce my words, that means I talk white. So be it. I'm cool with that. I mean, like I can get, you know, if you want me to get quote black and ethnic, I can do it, but I prefer to just, you know, pronounce my words. So if you have an issue with that, that's on you, not me. So then the therapist suggests that, you know, Monique should write a letter to Candice. And I'm like, really? You think that's a good idea? I guess. But let's move on. All right, you guys, next let's discuss Miss Ashley Darby. So we see Ashley, and I'm guessing that she and Michael were, you know, getting ready, well, they were preparing to take some photos of Dean. I guess he's 5 months old now. Huh. Michael is really creepy to me. You know, Michael's talking about, you know, he looks like me. I'm like, yeah, he really does, but ew. And then, you know, he was talking about his package. I'm like, dude, ew. You are fixated on men's penises, aren't you? Okay. You just let the jokes write themselves. So after that, after they take the photos, Ashley sits down with Michael and she talks about Karen's party and the way that, you know, Candice reacted. Ashley, you could have just kept your mouth closed at that party. No one would have known until the show aired that Karen actually invited Monique to the party. You could have just sat there and shut the fuck up. But again, this is typical Ashley being messy. Being messy. God, I hope next season. Oh God, it's just like people forget what the shit that Ashley has done over the last 5 seasons, and because she has a baby now, it's just like all wiped away. So then, you know, Michael feels, you know, everyone has tried to get to know him with the exception of Chris Bassett. I don't know if I agree with that. Honestly, I don't care who tried to get to know him. So Ashley also tells Michael that, you know, Juan is getting ready to propose to Robin. Now, Michael says, oh, I don't think that that's going to happen. And I'm like, why do you think that's not going to happen? This man is out looking at rings to buy for Robin. So why do you feel that, you know, he's not going to propose to Robin? Oh, is it because you want to sleep with him? Is that what it is? Is that what it is, Michael, because you want the penis? Oh, Michael is just disgusting as hell to me. I mean, the most creepy, disgusting type of man ever. But let's pause there and move on. All right, you guys, and then let's talk about Candice. So we see Candice. So she and her mother, they're going out to get their nails done. This scene with them, it was just really wasn't much. They were talking about the fact that, you know, Candice wants to have kids. I guess her mama's ready for her to have kids. I feel bad for them grandkids. Because you know what though? It's so funny when you think about people who their kids said that they weren't the best parents to them, they always turn out to be the best grandparents to their grandkids. So then we later see Candice and Chris as they're getting ready to head to this party that Robin is having, which we'll discuss Robin in a little bit. And Candice is trying to warm up her vocals. I'm like, ooh, okay, Candice, go ahead and do it, girl. I'm tired of hearing you sing, but okay. So she says that Robin asked her to sing at the party, like I said. So then, you know, she starts talking about Karen and her party that she had, you know, and she says that, you know, Karen texted her. Actually, what it is Karen texts the group, and she sent the screenshot of the text messages between she and Monique and she and Candice. So in the text messages, she said for Candice to come at 6:30, please, and to Monique, for Monique to come at 4 o'clock. But Candice said that that's not what happened. She said Karen actually called her and asked her to come between 5:15 and 5:30. But even if she said 5:15 and 5:30, I'm assuming Karen would have said, okay, Monique, you know, can you come between 4 and 5 So that way it gives 15 minutes before Candice gets here and y'all don't have to run into each other. So I don't understand what the issue is, but it's an issue. All right, you guys, next let's discuss Gizelle, I guess. Gizelle really didn't have much in this episode. It was just nothing. The shit with Gizelle in this episode just further lets me know that the shit that Gizelle's trying to say between she and Jamal is just bullshit, because she's getting ready for Robin's party and she is calling Cal because Cal is going to be her date with her to Robin's party instead of her man. I'm like, why ain't he with you? Oh, he's in Atlanta because this is a Saturday night and Sunday morning he got to be at the church. You never heard of a red eye? I mean, there's a red eye. He could catch a red eye to Atlanta and be there in enough time to get to church. It just begs the question, like Karen said, is he proud of you? Does he like having you on his arm? Is this relationship real? It just brings up so many questions. This shit is a storyline. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I can't wait to see what the reunion holds. I feel like with the reunion, Monique is going to annoy me. I just feel that way. I really do. Her and that binder. Just feel like she's going to annoy me. But yeah, let's move on to Karen, and then we're going to get to the grand finale of this episode because it was good. All right, you guys, and then let's talk about Karen. I have to say that I am really, really proud of Karen. I commend Karen. Karen is doing great things with her Ladam fragrance, and with her hair. Kudos to Karen. Karen is a smart woman. This housewife shit ain't gonna last forever. Learn from what Lanithia did. Learn from Lanithia from Real Housewives of Atlanta. She left that friend. Well, she didn't leave. She got fired from that show, and now she is trying to figure out what she's gonna do next. Karen has figured out what she wants to do next. She got her fragrance. She got her hair. And she can come up with any other businesses and she will be fine. Learn from the likes of Lisa Vanderpump and who else? Bethany Frankel, although I cannot stand Bethany Frankel. I am just not a huge Bethany fan. I don't like Bethany one bit. But learn from Lisa Vanderpump. Learn from Bethany Frankel. Learn from Candy. Learn from all of these women who use this show as a platform. Yes, I get a paycheck from them, but also I'm getting a bag outside of this. So use them as a blueprint. So I'm so proud of Karen. So she talks to Ray about the party, and then they show us, like I said, the text messages where she told Candice to come at 6:30 and Monique to come at 4. But again, like I said, even if she told Candice to come at between 5:15 and 5:30. You still would have missed Monique. I would have, I'm sure Karen would have tried to get Monique out of there before you got there. But, it is what it is. And let's move over to Robin, you guys. All right, you guys, and let's talk about Robin. I did not realize that my notes were so long for Robin. Damn. Jesus. This is Robin we talking about. I ain't never had a lot of shit to talk about when it comes to Robin, ever, in my almost 3 years of reviewing Real Housewives of Potomac. But we see Robin, so she's out and she's planning this holiday party that she's throwing. Now she has to let us know that she did not invite Monique. She invited all the ladies with the exception of Monique. I'm like, I don't give a flying rat's ass. So we later see Juan and Robin, and they go to see a therapist. And Robin tells us that about their relationship with between her and Juan. So she met Juan in 1996. She was a senior in high school, and he was a junior in high school. And just before that, he had lost both of his parents. Have they ever said how his parents died? because it's really interesting that both of his parents died at the same time. I'm assuming they died at the same time. I wonder, were they in a car accident or something? I don't know if they've ever said it. If they have, you guys, let me know in the comment section below. So, she said that, they dated throughout college, and then after they dated throughout college, they got engaged, and they got married when they got married at 26. So I'm assuming she was 26. And, they got divorced in 2012. And so, she talks about, when she got pregnant with the boys, and she says that Juan was never really hands-on at that time. And then, Juan says, it wasn't just me. Like, don't put it all on me. So then, Juan also says that at one point in the marriage, he was lonely. And then he says, that he was able to get things outside of his marriage that he wasn't getting inside of his marriage. So the counselor says, and so the therapist asks him, was it just sex? He says, no, it wasn't just sex. She says, so what was it? He says, with, the outside of the marriage, he was able to get romance and affection from other people, whereas he wasn't able to get that from Robin. And I was like, damn, I know that had to sting her. Because she just started crying. I'm like, damn, I know that had to hurt to hear the fact that your man felt like within your marriage, he wasn't getting, romance and affection, and he had to go out and seek that from other people. And then that's not an excuse at all. So I felt bad for, in that situation, I felt bad for Robin, because I hate when people say that I'm not getting such and such and such and such out of my marriage. Well, why don't you sit down with your significant other and say, hey, baby, I'm feeling this type of way. Like, I'm feeling like you don't pay me any attention. I'm feeling like you don't romance me like we did when we first got together. I feel like you don't give me any kind of affection. I feel like you don't give me enough sex. Or just sit down and have the conversation instead of going out and cheat on your partner. And if you have the type of relationship like with Michael and Ashley, if your partner says, hey, how about we bring if you want to spice up in the bedroom, how about you bring someone in? It's all about communication in your relationship. So although I got where Juan was coming from when he said he felt lonely, I didn't like what he said about the affection and the romance. Now, that is how he felt, so I'm not going to take away how he felt, but that's not an excuse for you cheating. It's not. Sit down with Robin and have a conversation with her. But, but I guess I have to go back and say that they were kids when they got married. But again, that's still not an excuse, but it's a little bit understandable, not completely. So then we get to the party. All the ladies show up. Ashley, I liked her hair in that ponytail. It was just the fact that her forehead is so fucking big. Couldn't get past it. So Ashley asked, Giselle, like, where's Jamal at? And she says, oh no, Jamal's not coming. It's just gonna be me and Cal tonight. But in the interview, she's talking about, Jamal is Saturday night and he has to be at church on Sunday morning. Again, red eye. So then Michael also asked the same question about, Jamal. Bullshit. So, Robin talks to the girls, and she's telling them about the fact that Karen said, sent them a text message saying that she's not going to make it to the party because her flight was, delayed when she went to HSM. And they feel like it's bullshit because, of the whole situation that happened at Karen's party. And they feel like Karen doesn't want to, face the hot seat. And I'm like, really? Okay. Now, Wendy, I've been quiet on Wendy for a while, but Wendy actually did annoy me in that scene. I'm like, why? Actually, Wendy and Giselle both annoyed me. Talking about, oh, Karen don't want to be in the hot seat. Karen don't want to be in a hot seat about the fact that she was going to set up Candice and Monique. Whatever. Y'all getting on my goddamn nerves at this point. So we see, Ashley. So Ashley is talking to Giselle on the side. And she tells Giselle Michael's initial reaction when she told him that Juan was not going to propose to Robin. So Giselle asked him, like, what do you know that I don't know? Because, me and him went and did ring shopping and all this kind of stuff. So what do you know? Michael would never say what he knew. Now, Ashley on Watch What Happens Live said that, because she was on Watch What Happens Live tonight with Portia. And Ashley did say that Michael said that at the last reunion, he alluded to something, but what did he allude to? I don't know, and I don't really give a fuck because we know that the man proposed to her. So Candice gets up to sing her song, and she's supposed to have a backing track with her, but that track wasn't playing, so it was just her singing, and then the track eventually came on. So then once, everything is done, Juan gets up there and he proposes to Robin. That ring, oh my God, that ring is beautiful. Love that ring. Michael, however, looked like he was, defeated that his man asked his wife, his ex-wife, to be his current wife, be his new wife again. I'm like, oh, Michael, you really want that penis, don't you? You really want it, but you're not getting it. So then, Michael takes him to the bar, and Michael is so fucking odd. Michael's like, here's to a bachelor party in Vegas with no cameras. I'm like, ugh, Juan, don't go to no bachelor party with him because you might wake up the next morning and he is slapping on your knob. I'm just saying, buddy. I'm just saying, don't go to Vegas with Michael. Don't take a drink from Michael because Michael might be on his knees the next morning giving you a blowjob. Just saying. Let's see. We also saw Charisse show up. I'm like, oh God, Charisse. So the ladies were talking about Karen once again, and they talking shit about Karen at this. And it's just like, my God, y'all are so ridiculous. So why are they talking shit about Karen? Karen shows up, and they talk to Karen about her party. They ask her why did she leave her party. Now, Karen, this was bullshit. I love you, but this is bullshit. She said she had a dinner date with Ray. Then she said something about getting some KFC. So how was KFC a dinner date? I wasn't following that. And then she said that the ladies owe her an apology. I'm like, wait a minute, Karen. Now, I love you, but I don't think they owe you an apology. I really don't. You left your one party, but okay. So then Karen suggests that, she wants them all to come together so that Monique can speak her truth. I'm like, oh God, Karen, why did you say that? Candice flipped out, talking about, what do you mean speak her truth? Now, I was with Candice on this situation. What do you mean speak her truth? You were there, Karen. You saw what happened. So what is it that Monique can say that the whole group doesn't know besides Ashley? Like, what can Monique say? Nothing. So then, it's getting heated with them, and Michael goes over there and tells Chris that he needs to get his wife. And I'm like, Michael, why did you jump in this? Let the women, they're not doing anything. They're just, they're doing what they normally do, argue with each other. So why did you have to feel the need to go over there to Chris? Now, Chris Bassett pushed Mike. He wasn't pushing. He actually really wasn't pushing Michael. He was backing Michael away from him. Now he was saying, you got your hands on me? You got your hands on me? I'm like, Chris, he don't have his hands on you. But I got where Chris was coming from. The fact that Michael is jumping into women's shit, telling him to get your wife. Get your wife. Get your wife. What is she? Whatever. Now, see, I'm going to call Michael a huge hypocrite. Because like I said, Chris had his hand right here and he was pushing him. He was pushing him, but it ain't like he just shoved him. He was moving him back like, dude, back. Give me 50 feet. So he backed him up. So Michael is over there screaming at the top of his lungs talking about, he hits me. He hit me. He did not hit you. He just nudged you back. Like, dude, you tripping. So Michael's talking about he's gonna call his lawyer and you're going to jail. You're going to jail. I'm like, wait a minute. Haven't I heard this before? Oh, that's right. Monique, right? Now, she didn't say she was going to call her lawyer and Candice was going to go to jail, but in Monique trying to say that Candice put her hands on her? I'm tired of this season. I'm so glad this season is over. I am so glad this season over. Like, Monique put her hands on Candice, but y'all defended her, but now the fact that, Chris put his hands on Michael, it's, oh, you're going to jail, you're going to jail, you're going to jail. And then Ashley decided to chime in. I'm like, Ashley, shut up. Because you defending Monique, you talking about who can't control themselves. That would be your husband. Michael can't control himself. Michael put himself in that situation, so I don't feel bad for Michael one bit. So then, Michael gets into it with the producers. I'm like, what the fuck? And, they do the, the closings with all the ladies. honest to God, you guys, I didn't look at none of the ladies, what was going on with any of the ladies, so I can't tell you guys what's going on with any of the ladies. The one thing that stood out with me was when the producers talked to Monique. So the producers were talking to Monique about this case. We all know that the case was thrown out. And in this moment, I was like, Monique, you are full of it. Like, like I said, you guys, she's been saying, watch the journey, whatever the hell she's been saying. But in this interview with the producers, you start laughing, talking about, your ass to get dragged. And you laugh. And I'm like, so you still think it's funny that you dragged this girl? But okay, Monique, whatever. I see you. I see you, Monique. I really do. But yeah, you guys, that is the review for the Real Housewives of Potomac. Season 5 is in the books. Now on to the 3-part reunion. Be sure to like this video, leave your comments, and subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, make sure you guys are aware when I drop anything else, and share this video, you guys. And until the next one, you guys, do me a solid favor out there, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, wear your mask, and socially distance, and I'll see you guys later.